9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
I am your forever ROH. I am your forever ROH Women's Champion, your fallen goddess, the Alpha, the Minion, Overlord, the ROH Gatekeeper. But most of all, I am the best in the world, Athena, and you are watching Women's Wrestling Talk.
Oh, happy Wednesday. I can't believe it's December 10th. Like we just like, I don't know what happened, y'all. We about to hit 2026. I can't even explain it. But my name is TK Trinidad. Thank you for watching WWT Live, the Monday edition. And I am not alone. I just found out not only is she the sweetest ooh, she's also the shady lady. Honey is in the building.
Oh, yes. Buzz, y'all. What's up, WWT Universe? Happy to be here. It's your sweetest oos in the house. Happy hump day, y'all.
Happy hump day. What up, producer from the future? What up, Lewis? And we have the PR princess herself on CEO Wednesdays. Miss Courtney Rice is in the building.
We're going to have to go back because it's Timeless Elite Wednesday. We're not dealing with anything because if you try to take over a day,
have all with this. You are right. Timeless Elite.
It's Timeless Elite Wednesday because how about showing up on Wednesdays? And since
the fact that you say something in existence so many times, it gets into the zeitgeist. I so apologize.
Oh my God, he's taking over. He is taking over.
Saying, you're not taking over because winter is coming, and I am the Ice Queen for tonight.
That's why I got my Arctic aura lights on today. For the winter theme. That's the name of the light setting.
I am Arctic the Timeless Elite Ice Queen. So
yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Timeless Elite Courtney of the House Stark on her Ned Stark.
Oh my gosh, Dylan saying the disrespect. I totally didn't mean that. However, the thing
I heard it and I was like, let me look down because I don't know.
Yeah. However, our super chats are open, so for $1 or $2 or more, you can ask me questions as to why I did that because I have no idea why. But I mean, you know what it was? I think I pulled a Kane because that's something Kane would have done, and he's in the.
Gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
When else fails, blame it on Kane.
It feels like hellfire and brimstone here in Los Angeles today. In the middle of December, it is 81 degrees today. 82 degrees.
Fantastic. As my friend has snowed in Toronto.
Yes, East Coast. Everybody's experiencing a blizzard, so we're gonna enjoy winter is coming as summertime is here in December here in Los Angeles. Big card tonight, big things tonight. Good weather to celebrate a lot of things going on.
Good weather for who? For who? Because us on this side, on the East Coast, are freezing our tushies off around here. Just saying.
I apologize. But for Dylan, our producer for the future, I know we said we are going to start with one story, but for his sake, I think he also asked me this morning at 5 a.m. I think. Let's do that AEW Dynamite preview real quick, Courtney.
Don't rain on my parade.
Just to make sure that we put a stamp on what Wednesday it is. I get it.
Timeless Elite Wednesday. I already know Dylan's about to clip that. I already know.
He already did it. He did it the second he heard it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
what we
come
got,
on. So I mean, as I mentioned, winter is coming to Hotlanta tonight on AEW Dynamite. We are on the road to World's End. We got some Continental Classic action happening, but of course, we have the anticipated match, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Eddie Kingston, who, by the way, is getting his first shot at the AEW Championship during the 6 years of AEW against a guy he knows all too well, Samoa Joe. So Happy for Eddie. He's getting his first taste at AEW Gold, and this is going to be a battle between these two big boys in action. And we said this many times. We conclude with the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match. We have the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron, taking on the timeless love bombs of Timeless Toni Storm and Mina Shirokana, and we will crown the inaugural AEW Women's Tag Team Championship match. And we also have this unusual match that is happening, the unexpected duo of Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page taking on the Ops Powerhouse Hobbs and Katsuyori Shibata. Lots of chaos, lots of mayhem, and also shout out to Swerve because his new theme music is out today on Spotify. So make sure to check that out too.
I was waiting for that.
And we're also going to continue with the Continental Classic. In the Gold League, we have the leader of the Gold League, Kyle Fletcher, taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. And this is going to be fun between these two guys. And also in the Gold League, we have the reigning Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada taking on Jungle Jack Perry. If you did watch Collision from over the weekend, unfortunately, because of his injuries, Darby Allin had to withdraw from the Continental Classic, and now we insert Jungle Jack Perry. All this and more happening on AEW Dynamite with yours truly, with Timeless Elite Wednesdays, because you get to hang with me, because it'll be a hazy shade of winter at the top of the hour, and we're also going to have on 8 p.m. on TBS and simulcast on Max. And is there a match in particular that you guys are looking forward to for Winter is Coming?
Definitely, yes.
Definitely
But I
the
also
tag
want to.
team.
I also want to say, did you hear the emphasis on the timeless, the t and timeless? Like she just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to figure out. Will did something where it looks a certain way. Oh, now we're all off. It looks a
There we
certain
are.
way. I think that's it. On IG. I think that's it. Hi,
Ah.
people in IG land. I'm definitely looking forward to the tag teams for sure. What I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also hoping that they maintain it, because oftentimes in tag teams with different promotions as well, it's like, okay, here we are tag teams, and then then there's no story for a while. So I hope once they do that, there's more storylines for women, as we've been talking about for AEW since its inception. Anybody else?
I was gonna say pretty much piggyback on that, TK. I'm with the tag team match, of course. Did you say that they were concluding the evening, Courtney? Is that what you said? Do we know the order of the card at all?
I think the main event will probably be Samoa Joe and Eddie Kingston. Will probably close out the show.
I guess rightfully so. But the women's is pretty main event worthy to me as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how far they take it with this tag team, because like TK said, sometimes when they introduce new titles, even in other promotions, and we've even seen it in ones we talk about all the time, where the tag team titles can get lost in the sauce. And you don't want to waste you don't want to waste the titles, and you don't want to waste the talent as well, because we have individual talent coming together as a tag team, for a common goal to elevate women's tag team wrestling. So I hope that they can consistently stay with that goal.
Kane, you've been very quiet.
Oh man, I've just been fantasizing about Willow Nightingale holding up her World Tag Team Championship tonight. Trying to figure out if I can purchase a Willow plushie with the title wrapped around her. Tonight is the night. It is time to start the Willow Wembley to happen for her to hold the AEW Women's World Championship. That last word's a lot of Scrabble points. We'll Google it later. Babes of Wrath, this is their win. Harley Cameron has had a hell of a year. Think about her taking on Mercedes Moné earlier this year in Australia, and the big pop she got. The Moné puppet, even though the Moné puppet didn't draw any stuffing or blood during the blood and guts match. I was hoping the puppet get busted open. It didn't. C'est la vie, but we're here now. I think that Toni Storm should actually eat the pin tonight, because Toni Storm is the only person in this match where this can happen to, and she can show up next week and challenge Chris Statlander, and we go, oh, okay, cool. It doesn't hurt her. It doesn't hurt her momentum at all. But we've seen too many start-stops with Willow Nightingale. For goodness sake, she won the Owen Cup, but she won it the year before the winner of the Owen Cup got a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. She was the NJPW Women's Strong Champion, but technically won it because Mercedes got injured. As soon as Mercedes got recovered, she dropped it to Mercedes. She was the TBS champion, only to be a transitional champion for Mercedes to win it. So it's one of those things where we've always seen Willow Nightingale, regardless of the fan support, she's always been right there. We need for her to take that next step. Tony Khan has said that he sees Willow Nightingale as the next big star in AEW for 2026. This is how you get there. She wins a major championship, the inaugural championship, one half of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, alongside Harley Cameron, who's worked just as hard. And this Babes of Wrath tag team has gotten off and gotten over so well that I think tonight is the night where we see this. And they have a meaningful run. And as for Toni, she can go back to singles competition or chill. Possible heel turn maybe between Toni and or Mina. They could run that back. So it's going to be a lot of eyes, but I think Babes of Wrath raised the championship tonight. This is going to be just raise it up. Just pretend it's a title on this. Just, get my Willow.
Okay.
Gang, my Willow Warrior.
Speaking of warriors, congratulations to Athena. She's reached 3 years as being the ROH Women's Champion. And we've talked about this quite a few times, definitely well-deserved. She's been carrying ROH on its back. And y'all know, both, my co-hosts and the people in the chat who've been riding for us from it, I'm the person who reads the book from the back to the front. I want to know how this is going to play out. Is there going to be an end, or is she just going to ride it for the next 5 or 6 years? But first off, congratulations, well deserved. Courtney, what do you think?
First off, congratulations and well deserved as being the forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion in the Fallen Goddess herself. First off, the much deserving. This has been something we've been talking about the last couple months, even going back to summer. I did see her match against Persephone last week. It was a really good match, and it's going to be very interesting to see because Ring of Honor started doing advertising that she's going to have a celebration. So it's going to be very interesting because is this going to be the time that Billie Starkz gets a title? Because this been sneaking in because she was very upset that Athena didn't pick her as her tag team partner in the AEW Women's Tag Team Tournament. So this is going to be very interesting because we have seen Billie Starkz go for it. Because I know we've said Thunder Rosa, we said a lot of ladies, but I wouldn't mind to see Billie Starkz take the torch. But it's going to be very interesting on how this is going to play out. I would love for them to acknowledge it a little bit more on Dynamite tonight because one, they're in Hotlanta, you're in Atlanta, Georgia. So I would not mind at least if they did a little snippet, or if she did appear, that would be fun too. Saying like, I have my celebration even on the next day. But I do think it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play because the question, and TK, we talked about this last couple of months, like who is she going to pass the baton over to? And who better to do it than your own little minion who knows all your moves very well in Billie Starkz.
I'm definitely for it. Honey?
Like Courtney said, we have been talking about Athena for a while. And, at this point, I'm going to put in a vote to take away the Fallen Goddess era and make it the Fallen Goddess dynasty. Because at this point, that's exactly what she's creating, a whole dynasty with her name on it. And 3 years, and is a long time to be holding a title in the midst of all of that, even with the Queen of the Ring premiere, you know what I mean? Champion even then as well. Like, we saw her holding that title at the premiere, Courtney, and she's pretty much
looks good, by the way, too.
She looks fabulous. And she's I would consider this her final boss era you know, and we're just living in it. And you know, she pretty much good luck finding somebody to top this woman, because I'm always here for a dominating queen.
Okay. Rachel Ellering, she was awarded the 2025 Sportswoman of the Year. Actually, sorry, before we go back there, I have a question for you, Courtney. Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose, have we seen much of them in AEW?
So this is very interesting because I know Thunder Rosa is getting ready to get back in the ring because she's coming back from injury. And it's kind of crazy. Her and Nyla Rose have a podcast together.
Right. That's why I asked.
Enough. And yeah, they have a podcast together. I haven't heard much about Nyla Rose because it's kind of really hard to do with the fact like she was a former AEW Women's Champion. So I would love to see her back on television. It's just like kind of where you're going to put her in place, because the last time we did see her was she did face off against Mercedes Moné for the TBS title, and we did not see her afterwards. So I would like to see her maybe put in something for 2026. I wouldn't even mind seeing her if she participated in the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament, which that would be really awesome to do. And same thing with Thunder Rosa. That would be a good return for her, depending on her rehabilitation, because I know she mentioned that she's training, she's getting ready to go 100%, really being stronger in 2026. But make sure to check out their podcast, by the way.
For sure.
I mean,
oh, sorry.
Well, TK, I was just gonna say real quick with Athena. Congrats, 1,000+ days. She said over 33 defenses. 2 of those have been against Billy Starks, back-to-back Death Before Dishonor main events in 2023 and 2024. Nothing this year, but I feel like the potential coronation of Billy Starks is kind of come and gone. It's a little cold at the moment. If they were going to do it, they should have done it in 2024. It could have been a Cody Rhodes-esque in which he loses the first time to Roman, but wins the second time. The minion could become what's the person that controls the minions? Gook or something? Grok? Gru. Yeah, that becomes the Gru and like becomes everything, or like the master minion person. So I feel like if it happened now, it just wouldn't hit the same, because it's like, especially with this past Death Before Dishonor, she defended against Persephone, fire match, by the way. I thought Persephone was going to go over because CMLL is kind of like, hey, you got all of your guys beating our guys. MJF and Claudio both went into light heavyweight and heavyweight championships respectfully. Let our gal get a win over your champion at a major event that she's also been on AEW television, as we saw Persephone back at Forbidden Door in London. But it's just kind of like, we need something to spice this reign up. It's been 3 years, and it's been one of those, okay, is Diamante or Billy Starks about to turn at the end? Nope. It just went off with them holding Athena in the shoulders. And it's like, all right, we need something to spice this up here. We thought that maybe Mercedes and her would have a thing, but instead Mercedes went after the women's television title. So it's just like Athena's happening to happen, which tells me, does Tony Khan have faith in any other of the ROH women's wrestlers that can?
And yeah, that's what I've been wondering. I think that's why we talk about it so often, because it's like, is it because he doesn't have faith? And it's no, like, it's kind of a catch-22. She's been doing a great job, but at what thanks, Adele. But at what point
skin is glowing.
You know,
skin is glowing.
That part. At what point does she like when are you gonna give somebody else a chance? Because you can't really build somebody. If you're pushing Athena for everything and you're not really building up the rest of the women's roster, then it's like you're not building up somebody else to be the champion. Like, I think Billy Starks was a good one. Queen Aminata was a good one at one point as well. So it's just kind of like, who?
Crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy you mentioned that, because the newest signee for Ring of Honor, Zada Steele, put out a tweet earlier today towards Athena regarding her celebration. So who knows what's going to happen with that?
Yeah,
I would like that
for sure.
That's exciting.
So back to sorry for the detour. So back to Rachel. She was awarded the 2025 Sportswoman of the Year. And Rachel's another one too, where I think she came in at was it close to the very beginning, right? For AEW, or like in and around. And like you could
I remember
definitely
her with
build
like
her and you're not really
TNA.
using her. Right. So
Or Impact.
congratulations to her, but what are we doing with her? Right.
So
Was
this
that you,
award
Courtney, or Honey?
was
Like
That was
That was me.
I was lip
That was
zip tight.
me. That was
That was
me. It was
definitely
like
court. That was definitely court.
it's one of those things, and I think Will and I did talk about this regarding Ring of Honor. And this is nothing against Tony, because I have gave him constructive feedback on my watch along. You need to have an assistant to help you when it comes to creative, or at least somebody in Ring of Honor, with the fact you have a lot of people that used to wrestle at Ring of Honor, and you could pick up their brains. People like Bryan Danielson or Nigel McGuinness or Samoa Joe or Roderick Strong or Kyle O'Reilly, or how about the guy that we don't know his injury status, Adam Cole used to wrestle in Ring of Honor.
Right.
So that could be something to pick up your brain, and that could be something as an opportunity and thinking like, or, and I can't believe I forgot it, Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe used to wrestle in Ring of Honor, and just like picking out their brain and thinking, what's the vision for Ring of Honor? Because they
Right.
do have some good programming. They really, really do. And I've watched it a few times as well. And I think with Rachel Ellering, because I have watched her matches on Ring of Honor, on AEW Collision, and this would be a good opportunity. And especially with the fact, too, I wouldn't mind. I know she's advertised to be on Ring of Honor tomorrow, but I actually wouldn't mind seeing her if she did a program with Deonna Purrazzo for the Ring of Honor Pure Women's Championship. At least
They gonna run it back?
Possibly. I wouldn't mind seeing that, because it would be nice and a good opportunity for her to at least get some taste of gold, working with somebody like Deonna, who's been around the block, and also give you an opportunity, because this is a new champion. Surprise, surprise. Another championship created by boss man Tony Khan. So at least make it something useful of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those of us who may not have access to ROH Honor Club, Courtney and I were referring to that Deonna and Rachel have had previous Pure Rules style matches. So I can absolutely see that happen until Queen Amanada returns. They'll be good for Rachel Ellering to be on like television. She hasn't been featured since I think like September ish on that one episode of Collision, and even longer than that with ROH. So was this award given by Tony? I saw that this was the same fit she had on backstage during AEW. So is this from AEW ROH, I guess, right?
That was ESPN.
Well, you know, if it's ESPN, they're gonna have a giant E on it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they were like, hey, look at us, it's ESPN. Plus, ESPN doing work with AEW right now. Ooh, you know, they're trying to keep that on the low because they all about the stamps territory. But regardless, I mean, congrats to Rachel Ellering for winning.
Yeah, a girl just raised. Oh, my bad. You're right. I read the caption wrong. It said a girl. So on her post, she said this past weekend at work, I was awarded the 2025 Sportsman of the Year. Wow, I'm honored and humbled and proud. Just a girl raised on ESPN and Sports Illustrated, out here pushing herself every single day to learn more stats, watch more games, and pronounce every last name flawlessly.
So it's like, where at work? Like, I know she's not like working at
somebody said that
Trader
in
Joe's.
Somebody said that in the thing. I was like, you have a real job? Where is the real job?
It's like a shoot job or something. But again, that's the fit she had on in pictures where she was at AEW ROH. But anyway, regardless, I hope this can be a boost for a big 2026 for Rachel Ellering. I really enjoyed her work in TNA. Then Impact back in the day. Really loved it there. Of course, she's the daughter of legendary WWE Hall of Famer Paul Ellering. So it's in her blood. It's in the family. Hopefully we can get some more sites of Rachel Ellering on TV. I really enjoy her, and she's had some good matches with people I've got to learn. And I remember her match with the then Maggie Lee from back in the day, who is now M by Elegance in TNA, which kind of put Maggie Lee in my radar. So yeah, like Rachel's out there, man. So hopefully we can get some spotlight on her.
Mm-hmm.
A different person, well, thing or show we should put a spotlight on. I think we were talking about it. Unreal. Season 2 will be released on Netflix January 20th. And it's interesting because I think we had, ironically, you see Becky and Seth on there. And I think it was Seth who said that he wasn't really for the show. I might be incorrect, but I find it odd that
Yeah, same.
they're the ones on the cover, which now makes me think, like, was it a work for them to say that? And then a couple weeks later, Unreal is coming out. We did do a watch along and post show for Unreal before the show even came out. I think we talked about in the summer how I absolutely loved it because I like to know all the little things that happen because I'm just nosy like that.
Yeah, it was mixed reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Some wrestling purists felt like, nah. I think Bubba Ray said he didn't like it either. So with that being said, I guess, honey, are you excited? Did you finish watching season 1? What things are you hoping to see in season 2?
Well, according to, because I know they have, they also announced the list of people that they're going to be covering, and I'm really intrigued to see this one. Almost a little more than the last season. The last season was very good. With me, I'm a little bit in the middle because I understand why they're doing this. And this is stuff that I was always kind of interested because, you know, it's part of why I also do this because I love it and I want to eventually be the person in that room one day. So, you know, right. It's cool and it's understandable. And I understand why wrestling purists don't mess with it at all. But at the end of the day, there is another audience that they're trying to capture, and it's on a more global scale to the point where they're getting the casuals. They're still trying to pull in, you know, the ones that don't really watch, but know that it's still around. And, you know, they're trying to peel back a curtain. So that way there's also, you know, the IWC and internet marks that take it a little too far with results. And if their favorite doesn't win and all of that stuff, you know, but I'm really intrigued on the list of people that they're covering. So they have, this is the list here: Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Pat McAfee, Jelly Roll, R-Truth, which is very interesting to me, Io Sky, which I'm probably really excited to see that, Chelsea Green, Penta, Lyra Valkyria, and Naomi, which I'm sure is going to be a bit of an emotional one. Yeah, I really like what they did with the first one. I don't mind as long as they keep it with different superstars, you know, and keep us in the loop, because there's a lot of other superstars that there's so much talent on there to cover. Then they're all fan favorites. A majority of that roster are fan favorite wrestlers now, you know. Right. So those are some good names on there to cover from the last year and the last couple of years. Who knows how far back they go, but it's till January 20th. It's gonna be on and popping, so we gotta get our popcorn ready, get a watch along legit, and let's do it.
Court,
I will say, because there's a few episodes I have to watch from the first season, because for me, I'm looking at this in both lens. From a PR perspective, I'm always very interested on seeing the behind the scenes stuff, and also for me working as a commentator in the independent scene, and also hopefully one day working on creative, and also for my own PR business as well, helping media train professional wrestlers as well. So that's also another thing I'm always interested in, like the mechanics, the back scene stuff. I get it. Now, as a fan, of course, you don't, as Professor said in his disagreement, you don't want to give away the secrets of professional wrestling, which I get it, because you don't want to give away that. And also very intriguing for season 2, because I did look at the list, because there's actually one superstar that I'm very intrigued. I mean, obviously Naomi's going to be emotional, but Lyra Valkyria is somebody I'm very interested in seeing, because I think people know about Lyra, but I don't think a lot of people don't have the deep understanding on who Lyra Valkyria is. Obviously, of course, some of us knew her from like NXT and up until now. And I know some people are kind of thinking like, who is Lyra Valkyria? But I'm very excited that she is getting a spotlight, especially with the fact being the inaugural women's intercontinental champion. She had that great rivalry with Becky Lynch, especially delivering both matches from Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. And also very excited to see that. So I'm very excited to see how they're going to do with Lyra, and also very intrigued. And also R-Truth as well, because I know that created a lot of buzz too. So it's kind of like the behind the scenes of what happened with R-Truth when he came back for Money in the Bank. That's also going to be very eye-catching and eyeball. But I wouldn't mind watching season 2. So as Honey said, get your popcorn ready, get everything settled for January 20th on Netflix, because it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot to unpack for season 2.
Yeah. And don't forget to get yourself a NordVPN on us. Type in WWT, get 75% off, so you can watch this from other places.
Yeah.
And, NordVPN definitely is a game changer.
It is. Listen, if season 2 of WWE Unreal doesn't open up with Triple H watching AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite with his jaw on the floor, looking at Andrade in the ring with the Callis family, trying to figure out, isn't this guy still under contract but a non-compete? What's going on here? I need to see whomever talent relations. I need to see Nick Khan call it Andrade on the phone, talking about, what are you doing, bro? Caprende, Vamanos your ass back to Stanford immediately. We need to have a conversation. Primo, cabron, you understand? Capiche? I've always had mixed feelings about WWE Unreal. I didn't watch season 1 because it's still real to me, damn it. There are some things about professional wrestling that you have your fans over here and you have the people, the professionals, everybody inside of it. I think that the crowd that WWE wants to go for, they don't care whether it's real or fake. They're the ones that call wrestling fake anyway. So for them, they're just like, see, I told you it was fake. I told you it was.
That's not it. Here's a question, right? I'm assuming that at one point we all believed in Santa Claus, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming we all know that Santa Claus.
Watch your words. Watch your words now.
Well, family show. We don't want to ruin it for the kids, but we understand.
Right.
Or kids at heart.
But you still, and for the kids at heart too, you still partake in the festivities. You still embrace the Christmas spirit. You still, and again, this is not my campaign for people who are like wrestling purists. They don't want to watch it all. However, it's how they did it, because I did watch all, I believe it was 6. Cindelia, hilarious. I believe there was like 6 episodes. How they did it when it came out, everything had already come out on WWE. Like the storylines had already come out on WWE. I reference back to Kim Kardashian, for instance, when she got robbed in Paris, right? When the show came out, the reality show came out, that had already been done like 6 months prior. So I feel like, these and how they're doing it, it's reality shows are not like they were before. It's very scripted. So how they're doing it, I think you're getting an extra layer. I know you're getting an extra layer to the story that you already saw that happened 3 to 4 months prior to. So for the wrestling purists, you're not really seeing too many things that you wouldn't know. Like we all know there's a gorilla position. We all know that it's not just Triple H by himself there. Like we all know that.
It's for the people that are like, why they call it gorilla position and haven't seen the hundreds of documentaries that we watched, that we know why it's called that.
Right. So it's like,
is that even explained?
Ask your grandpa what gorilla means in WWE or who that was.
Well, gorilla's not explained, but however, if you and it just depends on where you are. I think because being in the entertainment industry, there's certain things that I kind of know and I appreciate seeing the behind the scenes thing. If you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, and you don't think that one wrestler is friends with another wrestler, and you see it backstage and it ruins it for you, then like don't watch it. But if you see that and you're like, oh my gosh, they're friends behind, you see them shaking hands, but in the ring they told such an amazing story that you believed what was happening in the ring, that means they're doing a really good job.
It's like
Because
reading a book.
oftentimes,
It's like
you know,
like reading a book, watching a movie, a film, like a film that's
Yeah,
not,
well,
a fantasy film.
I don't know when it comes to professional wrestling, because wrestling is such a different beast that it can be that this particular show can be dismissed as just don't watch it. And the reason why, it goes back to what I originally said, as far as I don't think this show is for wrestling fans. Unreal, what WWE's doing, producing, it's not for the diehard fans, because you see our responses to it. It's for the casuals. It's trying to grab people who this may be on the, hey, if you like this, maybe you can watch this suggested watch list. And it's one of those things where it's like, well, they wouldn't care anyway, because this is not going to change their perception about professional wrestling. This show does nothing to bring them in to wrestling, which is what the point of these programmings should be. Okay, because if someone doesn't believe in this stuff, then this show is not going to help. You want to help enhance your product and get viewers in. They had a show like this, similar, minus the unreal and calling it non-unbelievable stuff. It was called WWE 24. Remember that show where like the wrestlers on the road, he's going back and forth? They could have kept it with that energy, or like the behind the scenes of WrestleMania type, to come out outright and say, okay, this is how the magic has happened. Wrestling is magic. It's a suspension of disbelief. We see the Irish whips. The Irish whip already gets rid of. It's like, okay, I got to believe you run somebody in the rope and they turn it back at the rope. So it's already that suspension of disbelief already. So it's one of those things where I understand it from a Netflix standpoint, but the audience that they're trying to reach, I don't think they're going to reach it. It's like in media, TK, when people hire influencers to do radio, they never get that return on investment, because the audience they're going for, they're not going to get, because that audience doesn't care about their influencer doing something outside of whatever platform they discovered them on. And, I just think this applies to Unreal. But they brought it back for season 2, so something's working.
Here's a question. You remember Total Divas?
Yep.
You remember Total Bellas?
Yep.
Do you know how many people started watching wrestling because of those shows?
It's the same effect.
Do you know how many people?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, do you know how many people started wrestling? Not even started watching wrestling, but how many people started wrestling because of that show? I think you are gonna have, the people you were just talking about, Kane, but you're also gonna have the people that it becomes interesting. Now you want to see more. Like, I'm the type of person that if I see something and it's interesting, like, for example, I mean, it was definitely interesting to watch the whole Diddy thing. Now I'm on Google looking at different things. Like I was looking at who Capricorn, whatever her last name is. Like, oh, I never heard of her before. I'm gonna go and look her up. Like that. I'm that type of person, and I'm pretty sure I'm not. Even though I think I'm special, I know I'm not the only person. So it's like, yes, I agree with you in that sense, but like you just ended as well, there's a reason why there's a season 2. Thank you. Thank you, Capricorn Clark.
Yeah, Capricorn Clark. I'm gonna piggyback off of that, TK, but I would have to respectfully disagree that it doesn't enhance the product or bring people in, because not for nothing, look at how big Netflix is, number one. Number two, everybody, pretty much almost everybody in the world has Netflix now. And also, as long as what's more enhancing to the product than clicking play and running that Netflix streaming number? You know what I mean? As long as there's an effect there and numbers don't lie, that there will continue to be seasons.
Return on investment. There are a lot of people who are watching.
And also the popularity of wrestling is hotter than ever.
Yeah.
It's the same effect that when they brought in the Swifties, all of a sudden all the little girls wanted to watch football, and all the dads are about, it's that same kind of effect.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're not going to expose the NFL scripts yet, even though they exist.
Or the NBA.
Or
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
See, I mean, we have Jeffrey. I'm a dude who loves behind the scenes stuff anyway. Like it,
I always did too.
And it depends. It really just depends on the person. Like, you could, I know one thing that really killed it for me, but then also pushed me in the direction of being in entertainment was when I first came to Los Angeles and I was doing stand-in work, and I saw, you know, how shows were really made, and I saw that there was multiple cameras, and so the magic of television changed for me because now I know how it works. But then it switched over to I can be a part of this and make the magic happen for somebody else. So like I totally get where you're coming from, and I think everybody eventually kind of knows where they sit. But I think also too enough people decided to sit and watch, and we have a season 2. So and Kane, you know, the entertainment industry is terrible right now. So the people who are doing the editing and the filming and all that other stuff, you know, they have jobs. So you know, congratulations to them. And then also, I think if this would have happened, Unreal was this thing 24 years ago, it might have been a little bit different because we were in a different world. But 24 years ago today, Chris Jericho became the first ever WWE undisputed champion. Great. Like the fact that Le Champion, like this, and I think we talked about this 3 or 4 weeks ago. You know, the Jericho cruise not having AEW folks, his contract being up soon. Are we seeing like Jericho eventually making his way back to WWE? 24 years. Can you imagine him celebrating his 25th year in wrestling at the home he started at?
Hey man, pointing to the left, pointing to the right, do the dance. He's getting our rap money. January. See you at the Rumble, Y2J. He beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night.
That's you, like the two biggest stars of that time. Jericho beat them both and became the undisputed champion, the first ever. That's just iconic.
You can't take away that accomplishment that man has done. You just can't.
Yeah, that's, you know, and you know what's crazy about it too? At this point, even if you were a fan of Jericho and you followed his WCW run, you know that this was like, when you saw this moment, you're like, holy like, wow. Like just when you thought he couldn't do more, he did. And even after that, thinking about it before and after of this Jericho, can we really say Jericho ever had a bad era at this time? Not really, no.
No,
and this is 24 years ago today, and it just so happens to be your 25th year next year, the 25 year of Jericho thing. Are we gonna get that in 2026 in WWE? Like I said, I'm counting down. So I'm just hoping that Millennium Clock comes up again. We need the Millennium Man back.
Side note. Have you guys noticed how many clocks have been on WWE programming lately? Like, as soon as I saw the Gunther clock, I did the meme where I set up when Gunther was like, put the clock on to count down him beating up Cena in 4 days, whatever. Something about that felt very like, hey, by the way, put a clock up, put a countdown clock up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, very foreshadowing type of thing. I was like, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know. That just really
while.
stood out to me. That just really stood out to me for some reason. I don't know why. I just really noticed that. But you know, Chris Jericho is on my Mount Rushmore as far as the modern era. A guy who's been literally everywhere. The last of the Mohicans, the guy who starts out in the Indies, then does Japan, then does ECW, and then WCW, and then WWF. And then, you know, reinvents himself several times. That Chris Jericho we saw from 24 years ago is not the same Chris Jericho. Like, that's crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you thought Y2J would be the peak, and he becomes Le Campeon or Le Champion, followed by the Ocho and the Nueve. And in between
the
that,
learning tree.
The learning tree, you just made the list. Like, you know, the scarf.
That was my favorite.
The scarf and the list were definitely peak Jericho moments for
just
sure.
Anything, whatever
tag teams he was a part of, you know, Jericho and all of that. Like, There's there's not.
Yep.
There's not a moment that I could remember. Like you definitely can't. Basically, you definitely can't tell a story of wrestling without Jericho.
I mean, it's the greatest hits. What, Dean Malenko being the man of 1,000 holds,
Oh
or
my
Chris
God.
Jericho being the man of 1,004 holds.
Was it
Armbar!
Malenko or was it
Hole number one.
Was
It was Dean
Armbar!
Malenko.
Was it Malenko or was
Saskatchewan.
it
Malenko.
or was it
It's
Benoit
Malenko.
with the one match that Jericho had where he lion tamed somebody on a ladder? Does anybody
I
remember?
believe
I
it's
just
Benoit.
remember that moment being so tough, and I'm like, I've never seen that in my life before. I need to find out. Hold on. Yeah, because that is a peak Jericho moment that I remember visually in WWEF whenever it was.
It was WWE. It was WWEF, whatever. But
Walls
I
of
remember
Jericho on a ladder.
It had to be like Money in the Bank, right? It had to be like a Money in the Bank,
Something like that, or a ladder match.
Yeah. That he just had to bust that.
Ah,
But again,
yes.
iconic moments.
I got it. It was on top of a ladder on multiple occasions, most notably against Chris
found it?
Benoit. Yeah,
There it
it
is.
was Chris Benoit where he did that.
Oh,
I just remember like moments
Well,
with Jericho. That was big.
I hope you guys enjoy watching it on Daily Motion or something, because that would not be in Chris Jericho's recap Hall of Fame package.
No,
So,
it probably won't. It probably won't.
No, but it was a good
Probably not.
match.
Likely,
But
it would not. Yeah.
The
It was a good
the list of reasons why he should face Goldberg before he had a list before he had the list. You
The
know,
list.
like
Yeah. Mini
crazy.
list.
Love
Yeah,
it.
whole
man, so-
definitely congratulations, Chris Jericho. And you know, the fact that it's going 24, going into 25, you know, these are the things that you undocumented, and these are the things that definitely we are going to be documenting with the Women's Wrestling Archive. So we'd appreciate your support.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's gonna pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today. All right. Another thing we have with TNA. So Matt Hardy says he wants TNA to focus on story more than 5-star matches, which I think is more like AEW territory, where they're definitely more match heavy versus TNA had always kind of been about the stories. And WWE, it just kind of depends on who's wrestling. Damn, Eddie, Learning Tree was trash. Okay. Thoughts on that, Courtney? What the Matt part, not Learning Tree.
Brain Keith over.
I'll talk about the Learning Tree later, because there was actually some parts in there, but I'll talk about that in my watch along. This was very interesting because Seth posted this in the chat, and also with the fact too, Dax from FTR tweeted to Matt about this earlier today. So it kind of falls and tails with everything else, which I find really hilarious, where Dax defended good old Uncle Dave, because we all know who he is in the wrestling world, and really kind of going on to say about the 5-star matches, but not the storytelling. And this is something we have talked about with AEW, providing consistent, keyword, consistent storylines, because we have seen them really pull it out, obviously, with Tony and Mariah May. We've seen it with Swerve and Hangman. And obviously, even though it didn't get much extended, MJF and Will Ospreay was teasing for a little bit, and also with Orange Cassidy and John Moxley. So it's really interesting to really figure out, and with the fact too, because it doesn't shock me with Uncle Dave, with the fact that you tend to favor FTR, the Young Bucks, the shiny little toys, but you tend to trash everybody in AEW that's put on better matches than they did. That's the thing that finds me very intriguing on that. And also, Matt's not wrong about this, especially with the fact with TNA, because surprise, surprise, there was a report over the weekend where creatives in TNA has been in question right before the lead up to AMC. So it's very interesting. There's questions with TNA and their booking, and also something that we have talked about the last couple of weeks with their side on really kind of thinking about what is going to be the vision with their tag team division, their knockouts division, and also who is going to be in the TNA world title picture. I do think this is something to really think about going into the new year, specifically for AEW and Dax and everybody else in AEW and just wrestling overall. Sometimes it's better to really keep your mouth shut on certain stuff like this and just focus on the problem that's in front of you instead of going to social media.
You heard what she said.
All right, honey.
You heard it.
Hey, you heard that. And that's on period. Matt Hardy is not wrong. No, I don't think he is wrong. We love our 5-star matches, yes, of course, but we all know what really drives these matches, and that's storytelling. And without storytelling, you can't have a 5-star match. So one can't be completed without the other, in my opinion, anyway. But TNA, honestly, leaning back into the storytelling mode is probably the glow up that they need right now. Right. And it's probably the glow up that they've been yearning for to get people onto that product. Further.
Yeah. There was a while where in like about 21, 22, 23, Impact Wrestling was really good with the storylines, what they were doing. Since the TNA's partnership with NXT, they've kind of been weaving and a little bit, and they're getting back to it with the invasion angle. But showdown angle. Say too much before we get taken off air. But yeah, and now they're going to get back to it more, obviously, for 2026 with the AMC and some storylines inside as well. Listen, I remember when Dax Harwood and Dave Meltzer were beefing, and then they've kind of settled the beef, I guess, after Dave bigged up AEW and FTR. So now they're like BFFs and possible, source receivers, exchangers, whatever.
Them and the Young Bucks.
But this whole thing is just, wrestling has multiple subgenres. Some people like 5-star matches. Some people like seeing the Hardy Boys crash through the Dudleys through tables. Wrestling is for everyone, and that's the reason why we have different styles. Could you imagine if every match was a 5-star, if every match was a table spot, if every match involved bleeding? Oh no, did I just describe an entire AEW card? Listen, no. It's one of those things where wrestling can be for everyone. I think AEW has to accept some of the criticisms. We love AEW. We are happy AEW. Trust me, those of us who saw the demise of WCW are happy AEW is here. But sometimes you have to listen to feedback, to positive, constructive feedback. And Matt Hardy, who was in All Elite Wrestling, so he knows the everyday happenings in the company. He's like, hey, you need some storytelling. I know people talk about Dudleys and Hardys for the 18th time, and that Bubba Ray spot at the end of him accepting his fate and going through the table was a little, but guess what? It told a story. You remember it. You felt something. You felt something in your soul when you saw Bubba Ray Dudley, who you've been watching since the mid-90s in tie-dye and stuttering, putting people through with tables,
stockings on our arms, and
you know what I mean? Yeah,
chain on the jeans.
Watch the Hardys, who somehow were in fashion when they started dressing like that. It went out of fashion, and now everyone dressed like the Hardy Boys again. Looking at you, Playboy Cardi. They lift up Bubba and put him through a table, and just like that, 25 years of the Dudley Boys, donezo. You felt something with that. You now imagine if there was no storytelling, no build-up, and the match just happened. Okay, cool. But it means something. And whether it's with veteran wrestlers, with newer wrestlers that you have to be introduced to, you need those elements in wrestling, because you can have short story to a 5-star match, a long story to a ho-hum match. But when you put all those elements together, I'm sounding like I'm making Captain Planet, but you put those elements together, and that's how you get good, cohesive, quality, palatable wrestling. So everyone's right on this. I just hope Dax don't make a call to Cash to pull up, because Cash be having that tank going on allegedly, according to that one.
Oh my God.
They all in North Carolina, so if they really want to pull up, what I mean, just keep it wrestling, boys. FTR, they be outside. That Cash Wheeler, that boy.
I don't know who it was that posted it, but I had seen a video online of like the montage of the match with the Hardys and Dudleys, but the music behind it was Creed's "My Sacrifice." I was like, you know what, y'all just trying to like, y'all just.
It's just the nostalgic, the emotional.
It's awesome because it's like, if you know, and it's like it was a story that literally transitioned through different promotions in wrestling time, like, and everyone in every promotion who's watched those things knows that story. Period.
And we all pop the same. And we all pop the same.
Cool. Absolutely.
From a kid to adult. Like everyone does the dance, like
do. The music, it's like
yeah.
Another person's story we've been following is Masha Slamovich. So she had an incident, well, a couple of incidents, according to her ex-partner that she posted up on Twitter. Fightful had said that her contract with TNA was up soon, and as of today, she's been removed from the TNA website. So with that being said, do we have any thoughts, as far as what is next for Masha? Do you think she will be back on TNA? Do you think this is more of they're taking a moment to separate and then add her back? Because she was really good for TNA. We'll go with PR Princess, Courtney.
We were actually talking about this over the summer with Masha. I do think this is a serious case that needs to be discussed. I mean, it is okay for her to walk away for a bit to get this cleared, and depending with Carlos Silva and everybody at the team TNA to figure out this situation, because Masha was pretty good. Like the minute she won the TNA Knockouts champion, like she delivered some really good solid matches. She represented TNA until this incident. But of course, you want to make sure you get this cleaned up. You don't want to have to deal with a la Brock Lesnar, which, by the way, that's a whole conversation. But with Masha's case, it's just really kind of taking a backseat on this, because, like I said, domestic abuse is something that should be taken very seriously. Doesn't matter if you're a male or female or a child. Like, this is an issue that has to be taken seriously, and have to make sure both sides are pretty good. I know there has been a lot of concern because it was her ex-partner. Well, technically not her ex-partner, but there were some reports floating around that it was one of her ex-partner's friends that reported this. So don't quote me on this, but there has been a lot of story chatting. But I do think this is something she can, and it's okay for her to back away from this, but this is something TNA is going to really have to do, because Ash already retired, and you have Lei Ying Lee as the reigning TNA Knockouts champion. So this is something they're also going to have to figure out going into 2026 with the AMC deal, on where is the vision and where is it going to lead to with the TNA Knockouts division if you have to do it without Masha Slamovich.
Honey?
Well, considering that also her contract with TNA has expired this month as well, I think it's not. I think it's it's not related. I mean, well, I think it is related into what is going on behind the scenes with her, but it's also been noted that several other independent promotions have canceled her bookings as well. So in order to clear your name, you have to clear yourself of the environment that you've been surrounded by, so that way you can get your personal life together. And if that's what she needs to do, then and that's what she should do, especially if it's something that you want to do, you want to make sure that is taken care of. It was known on from her perspective that it was a mutual Toxic environment, which is, you know, always a lot of he said, she said, but there's always that and the truth. And TNA wants to make sure that she gets to the bottom of that, and they're just probably going to disassociate themselves for a while. But I think she can eventually show up for wrestling, but who knows how long with you know, allegations like these, who knows how long this could take.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because she did post her statement after this came out a while ago. But it's interesting because it's like society on a whole sometimes, a lot of the time, picks and chooses who they want to forgive. Like it really just it really is just more in time whether they, as I guess the wrestling community, the IWC, like decides to forgive her and she works again, or it's not funny, but or you know, wherever she goes, and not now I'm not talking about Masha, I'm just talking in general, she's, you know, referred to as a racist. So, you know, it really just depends on so many different factors.
Well, all it takes is one company, TK. It takes one company to book her, and we'll see what the response to that will be.
Yeah,
that's all. You know what I mean? Like that's the same thing with anybody who was involved in speaking out. Same thing with, you know, other controversies we've seen with professional wrestlers. It's the one company who's going to book her, and then we'll see the response. You know, she has come out and apologized. She's, you know, seems pretty remorseful about it. She's come out and put everything out there. So hopefully she takes time to work on herself, to work on this. And we're going to see what indie books her. And, you know, we'll see what happens. You know, we saw something similar with Joey Ryan getting booked by some really small company. And once they got wind of it, I mean, the internet just went crazy about it. Like just went, there was like, no, and they pulled the booking. You know what I mean? So all it takes is one company to see what happens. So, you know, but ultimately it sounds like, you know, Masha just has to work on herself and figure out what type of person, regardless of wrestler, entertainer, anything, what type of person she wants to be going into the future.
Wow. Sorry, I just got this crazy text.
Was it from Masha Slamovich asking to be on the?
No, but it ironically, if I were to tell you, like, obviously I won't say it on the air. If I were to tell you like what it said, I was like, okay, you would never know. Anyways, I apologize. So yeah, we'll see what happens and how society chooses and how time plays out. With that being said, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Let's talk about that text you just got. So what? It was revealed that you know who the masked man is. But the masked man. Who's the masked man? What do you know? Anyway, we'll stay tuned. We'll find out.
Or masked men, because they're saying it's more than one.
It's more than one.
Now that's the new thing too. So
yeah,
and the person seems a little taller on Monday.
Yeah. I enjoy the internet trying to identify the masked man by their glutes. By their glutes. I say, y'all.
I saw a couple of those. I saw a couple of those. That had me laughing.
What if it's a woman? What if it's a woman?
Man, listen.
Oh my god.
A woman orchestrating it?
The Vision doesn't have a woman, but they were about to do it.
What
but
if
they pulled
it's
that
a woman who did that?
Who's orchestrating it or attacking? Because the only one tall enough
was masked.
The only one tall enough for that is like Raquel, right? Who looks
but
that dominating.
But then also that first person climbed that ladder pretty agile.
It looks fake how they climbed it, almost like AI. Like I
like
was like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like oh my god,
they're Spider-Man.
Their jump press must be crazy in the gym. I'm like,
so we got to think about who's got hops on that first one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I'm watching those Sheamus Celtic Warrior workouts to see who was like doing like the high jump press.
Well, y'all saw what I said in the chat. You know what it's given? It's given a certain Mr. Montez Ford. Those.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Those kind of
Montez.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
They're even putting the black eyeliner or the guy liner on there as well.
I saw
to try
that
to,
too.
like,
Yeah, just to throw it out.
that, man, yeah. And also the jeans were
Wow.
baggier this past week. Also, if you notice, on
Not
Monday,
to
they had
con-
baggier jeans.
Not to
I'm like, look
confuse
at
this for a
them.
book for a book talk masked man. Okay, guys, this is wrestling.
What is a book? Okay, what is that?
I'd
Oh
have to
my
explain that later.
Book talk.
Courtney,
Well,
you're
Well, there's
giggling.
one
I
thing
know
we-
you know.
What? Oh, me?
Like, wow.
Yep.
No,
I, know
I
you
don't know.
You
But
giggled.
what I do know is I could, but John Cena signed an extension with WWE because we didn't talk about John.
Oh yeah, that's right. That guy.
Oh,
Is he
you know
busy
what?
this
We
week?
skipped that because we
Oh,
started
you
talking about
think?
AEW.
Is he busy this
Hmm?
week, John Cena? Got anything going on?
Who, John?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's his
Two
last
things.
match. It's
Two
only
things
his
here.
last match this week
Oh,
with
bad thing.
Gunther,
Last match.
Asterisk.
and
Last
he's
match.
also signed an
Yeah, it's
ambassador
only.
deal too with WWE.
Yes, he did.
5 years, right? 5.
5-year
Wow.
ambassador. All right. Well, shouts to Cena. I wonder, will he do the ambassador appearances in a suit or in the jorts?
Most likely a suit.
Like, would it be
There could,
suit?
there could
Cena
be.
or
There's no
jorts
better
Cena?
ambassador to pick, honestly.
I mean, we knew it was
Listen,
coming.
y'all.
Like nobody's surprised.
Is this Is this a
I
different
just-
version of a Legends deal? What is What's the difference between the
That's what I'm
ambassador and the
saying.
Legends deal? Or is he going to be
Well-
like a correspondent in the future as well with certain things? Or
Well,
going to all the global events?
Titus O'Neil is an ambassador.
Oh
so
well,
I
yes.
think
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I think it's Legends deal. I think
Global ambassador
is
Titus
more
O'Neil.
wrestling related. And ambassador is you're doing stuff that's also in addition to outside of wrestling. It seems like because Titus does he does the school stuff. He does so many different things that are outside of wrestling. I mean, when's the last time we've seen him? But he's still an ambassador to WWE.
Last time I remember seeing Titus was under the ring at the
Don't say
Greatest
it.
Royal Rumble.
Don't say, I knew.
That's the last time I remember seeing him. And Corey almost pissed his pants on air.
Under the ring. But it was a good tag. I actually did enjoy the primetime players as a tag team. It was just
Oh yeah, of course. Hell yeah.
they were a good tag team. It was just the booking.
They
and
were fun.
creative part.
Yeah.
It was their manager making that joke that WWE did not find funny. When they kind of went away, came back, tried to get it. It wasn't the same. Cena, I just can't let go that he's gonna come out at the end and say, "I'm not done," or "You're not done until I'm done with you. I own your soul." I just can't shake it.
That's the storytelling. That's the storyteller in you, and I totally understand. But part of me has it.
Sorry, Dax Hartwood. Telling
I have
stories
it in
over
my
here.
head.
Sorry, Dax.
I have it in my head that Cena's definitely gone after this. Like he's a man of his word. He's constantly saying it. He's standing by it, and he doesn't miss when it comes to keeping track of things that he says. At least for the most part, he's always very eloquent when speaking. So I mean, I don't know, man. I feel you. I feel you in the heart, but
this just feels like a work. Like even the announcement of it. Like who announces? Hey man, I'm going on a what are you, Kobe in 2016? What do you mean? Like
let him
this
be.
is my last year. I'm out. Sell the merch, sell, and then just at the end for them to say, Rock's like, no. I don't care what you said. I'm the final boss. You got to come through me. I just can't let it go. I need to let it go. You're right. This is unhealthy. I need to let it go.
Yeah, because it's not. I mean, we have the Rock kind of doing the whole not Grammy.
He's
thing,
an
but Oscar
actor.
thing.
He's got the Golden Globe.
He's a campaign. He's a campaign.
Globes.
Oscar campaign. You're right.
But also, too, Cena said when he first announced his retirement, I think that was Money in the Bank in Toronto, that he was good. Like this announcement is not new. Somebody did ask him if he was going to still work with WWE after his retirement. He said, yes, I'll be working in a different capacity. So this is really not news if you go back to the press conference. But I also do see, like, I would love for there to be a swerve as far as retirement, but I was talking about it on Before the Bell. It's just very, dry and straightforward, and no shade. It's just kind of like, all right, you've had a good run. I didn't necessarily agree with, I wanted the heel turn to last longer, but there's a lot of things that we want, we don't get. It is what it is, and I think it's gonna end with him doing almost like a curtain call. Thanks y'all for supporting. And I also think the year thing, what he did, I don't think that was necessarily his plan, but think about all the ticket sales and think about the shirt sales and all this other stuff that they were able to milk him for over almost a year.
Yeah. He was talking about that in Chris Van Vliet's interview yesterday about the marketing plan, and that it took so long to plan, like making every single shirt, making every single merchandise, and really figure out, okay, I'm going to be retiring. Because at first, originally, it was supposed to be 226 dates, but it got cut to 36. And he explained that
which is insane.
in his interview.
Can you imagine?
There was like, we don't do house shows no more, cuz. We don't know house shows, man. We talk about, man, we do weekly episodic television.
And not for nothing, Cena, John, it probably wouldn't have been good for you to do that many dates. Considering the way we've seen you walking out of these matches this year, bro. Take it easy, man. Take it easy on your back. Get done. You're good. You're good. You don't have nothing to prove. Whether it was 200 or 30, whatever, I don't care. I'm glad that we got this run of Cena. I'm also glad I was able to see him personally too myself when I went to SummerSlam. So it's just like
quality.
I'm gonna be the one blasting bad man on Saturday, popping champagne, celebrating. Like, you did it, bro. You did it. That's gonna be me on Saturday.
Oh my god.
Of course, because the time is now might get DMCA'd and taken down off of streaming platforms by then. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. Because of that weird lawsuit thing happening right now, the copyright thing. What's up?
Apparently, yeah.
Anyway, but and this is my last thing on it, TK, because you mentioned earlier about the merch and all of that, and they're milking Cena. That's why I can't let it go, because TKO, who has made it known that they only care about money, does TKO really want John Cena's last match to happen on a Saturday on Peacock in DC? Or do they want that match in Vegas, bro?
Well, here's the thing, right? So I understand, and I would have, if I were to book it, I would have booked it on a PLE. But Vegas, we've already seen the tickets are already crazy. You're paying your rent for tickets. For Saturday Night Main Event, I'm curious. I don't know if you know this, Bosa, how much the tickets were before Cena announced his retirement versus how much the tickets are now. So it's like you're getting more money on places on shows that you weren't getting as much money compared to WrestleMania. That's money already. Like, you don't, like, it's not based off of Cena. Cena might have jumped the price a couple of thousand more, but now you're spreading that across, because what about the people who can't get to Vegas, who are not going to invest
last
in
year's
hotels?
Mania?
Well, I'm just saying,
Mania.
That's for last year's Mania, but now they're using that. They're, instead of the people who necessarily couldn't get to Vegas for, like, say if they were going to put him on for next year's Mania, right? The people who are not going to be able to get to Vegas and book the hotels and all that stuff, but they're closer to the East Coast where they can make a drive, they might be willing to pay for those tickets, which, like, hypothetically were what? Let's just guess they were $200. But because that's Cena's last match, now the tickets are $850. Like, now you're making money. Like, now you're making money hand over fist. That wouldn't have been the case. So I think I agree with you. But WrestleMania, if that were going to be the PLE that they were going to circle back to be like his official retirement, like, you're already making money with or without him. Saturday Night Main Event, the money you just probably tenfolded the money, the fact that it was his last show.
It's just, it's the story of Cena, chapter closing. He's still going to be in the WWE as we now know, because he signed this new deal. But in a wrestling capacity, I'm gonna miss you, Cena. I'm gonna miss you in the ring.
Cass
man.
will miss Cena. We'll
He-
miss it. It's been
He was
been
fun.
25 years.
Yeah.
Come on, man. I mean,
been too much fun.
Hogan running WWE was like 3-4 years. Well, it was longer than that actually. But not as long as Cena. Austin's was 3 years. Michaels was 3. Everybody's like 3-4 years. This man was.
He made it to like Undertaker level, like 25 years.
Bigger than Taker, because Taker wasn't always the guy.
Taker left just before it turned 25.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but Taker wasn't even the guy during this whole time.
Well,
Cena was the guy for like, 20 plus years, like being like the man, and so
QB1.
it's something special, real cute, player coach.
GM and coach, like
GM coach.
Jeffrey, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with that.
Should have.
That's totally
that's the era he first. That's the era he first started in.
Should have a PLE around him called Ruthless Aggression. Maybe in the future, you might be onto something,
Maybe.
Jeff.
Yeah,
maybe.
I like that.
Lynette, we will answer your question on Friday because Courtney has to get ready for her watch along for AEW. So with that being said, so that means you have to make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube page and come back with that question. And
she's on SmackDown too. We could talk about it Friday.
There it is.
Yeah, we can talk about the queen.
With that being said, Courtney, where can everybody find you?
People can find me top of the hour because winter is coming, because your timeless elite ice queen is going to be presenting to you, because there is a cold breeze coming through hot Atlanta tonight. It is timeless elite Wednesdays because you get to spend it with me. We're on the road to World's End. We got Continental Classic action happening. So much is happening. So you can spend it with me. You can also follow me on my socials at CourtneyNJ11 on Twitter and Instagram. I do have some content happening. And also I will be dropping something on social where I will be giving recaps of Continental Classic, because there's just so much wrestling out there. And I don't think anybody's covering the Continental Classic, but there are some good matches. So catching you up to speed on everything happening. Make sure to follow ISPW Wrestling because they have so much shows happening throughout December. February 13th, that'll be the next time I do commentary. Girl Power Pro Wrestling 3, we're going to have Carissa Rivera, formerly known as Elektra Lopez, and the Virtuosa and the inaugural Ring of Honor Pure Women's Champion, Deonna Purrazzo, will be in the building. So happy to see both of these ladies. Yep, Jersey. Happy to see that. And also, it's almost there, but make sure to check out my interview with Gail Kim. It was a very fun interview from GCW Fan Slam. I was very happy. Yes, I was very happy to see that. And she is a huge supporter of Women's Wrestling Talk. So make sure to check out my interview because it'll be dropping soon.
And honey, where can everybody find you?
You guys already know, buzzing around WWT Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays when I can. Most definitely on Fridays, especially because we have our Honey Night SmackDown watch along every Friday. There will be one this week, so make sure y'all tune in with me. Also, Kayfabe Podcast is back. We know. Life has been lifing, but Kayfabe Podcast is back on this week as well. Check me out with the brothers Will and Dion for tomorrow night as well. And all things Wrestling with Honey YouTube and podcast launching 2026. The time is coming. Time is not now, but it's coming.
Hey, Kane, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, and real quick, I know to piggyback off of Courtney and ISPW, big shouts to Vicious Vicky.
Yeah. Yes.
Vicious Vicky. If you guys saw the John Cena tweet, she had a really heartfelt post to John Cena, and John Cena responded, and now her Twitter is jumping like Jordan. Everybody's checking her out. I believe Courtney, she's the current ISPW Women's Champion.
No, she's not. She's a former. The new champion is Tina San Antonio. She's a former.
And
the new champion is Tina San Antonio.
She just dropped it though, right? Because she had it when
she dropped that Girl Power Pro Wrestling.
Right. Yeah, like in September or something.
Okay, bet. Because I remember bet. Yeah. So entertainment here on Women's Wrestling Talk. But shouts to Vicious Vicky. She said some TNAs run back in the day and all of that. So Cena, man, like just continuing to help women's wrestling. He was down there with Bailey and Lodestone. and he just continues to give back. So hopefully we can get some eyes on Vicious Vicky, just so I can get passes from Courtney to go to the event as well. So that's the plug. That's the plug alert. You can see whether or not I get those passes. Kane McCoy, follow me, Threads, Instagram, Twitter, MySpace, all of that. Check it out.
What theme
Shouts
song
to
you got on your
Chelsea.
page? What theme song you got on your page in MySpace?
The Time Is Now, John Cena, duh.
Hey.
Which was out when MySpace was out. So that's not like cap. That's a real thing. It was very plausible.
Some people watching us, well, if you, well, I'm not going to give out anybody's age or anything like that, age range, but the kids are probably watching this like, what's MySpace?
What's MySpace?
What's that?
It was like Twitter, but like safer, better, funnier.
Better.
Oh my God,
Fun.
MySpace.
More fun.
My God.
I knew how to
where we all learn how to be graphic artists and stuff.
Talk about
the copy and paste.
Well, just coming to your page to show some love. Make sure you show some love back. Glitter GIF. There's a glitter GIF of a horse and a heart. Remember that? He's like just showing your page some love.
Oh yeah.
Bring that back. See, we used to be a proper country. Think about that.
All right. On that note, you guys can follow me everywhere at TK Trinidad. You can check out my social media at TK Trinidad. Make sure you check out Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms. We do have an interview with Vicious Vicky dropping sometime in December. So definitely check that out. But thank you guys so much for your support for Women's Wrestling Talk. We are going to have our annual end of the year show, so we'll have a time in that's going to be happening on Sunday, and we are going to have a watch along and post show for Saturday night main event as well. So keep it locked for all our shows, etc. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.